Hello, everyone, and welcome to Leon Vert, where today we are going to talk about Palworld Pocket Pair getting sued by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. I'm here with my boy Essej. Let's just get right into it. Say hello, Essej.
Hello.
Nice, nice. How are you feeling today?
A little tired, a little distraught.
Right.
They're taking my Palworld.
No, they can't be taking our Palworld mans. Our pal. But yeah, we're here today talking about Palworld. What do you know? What all do you know?
I don't know a lot, dude.
Okay, I did a little research, and it's some kind of IP infringement, right? But it doesn't have to do with what we see. I don't think it has anything to do with the designs. There could be some designs where they're like, hey, you need to change that up a little. You're gonna get the shit suit out of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said before, how many times can you make a sheep until it's no longer a sheep or whatever?
Right. And that meme is now going in the video.
What I've read is that it has nothing to do with the designs of the pals or Pokemon altogether, because I mean, studios get like inspiration from other games all the time.
Well, there's this picture going around with Dragon Quest monsters on it, and then Pokemon, you know, the corresponding similar Pokemon on the other side, and they're like 10 years apart.
Yeah, the PAL designs aren't the main issue.
Yeah, it's the mechanics.
It has something to do with an open world mechanic where you're throwing spears or balls at a creature, or in this case a PAL, while running around. They developed something like that in Legends Arceus. It was innovative. They patented it on a formula when developing Legends Arceus. There's nothing official from Nintendo yet that I can find anyway.
Right. Yeah, that's basically what I was getting at. I don't think this has anything to do with designs. I think this is more of a mechanic thing. Like, it could be the 3 jiggles that the sphere does before it captures the PAL. It could be how it's based in RNG.
Yeah, what I see here is Nintendo had devised a new game processing method allowing the player to perform an action of launching to either catch a field character or cause a fighting character to fight against a field character.
So initiating a battle or capturing the monster in question?
Basically.
Yeah, I also heard that it could be the storage box, right? That's a classic Pokemon mechanic that I don't know if, you know, like I don't know how many monster taming creature collector games there were when Pokemon, you know, rose to popularity, but I don't know how many of them incorporated a storage box to the extent that, you know, the PAL box is somewhat similar.
I feel like Nintendo had to do a lot of digging,
a lot of research
to find something.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if they looked under the hood.
When Palworld first came out, I saw a lot of people like they would place a Pokemon model and then like kind of reshape it in an editor, and it would look like one of the Palworld models. I'm just speculating because we don't know anything.
I mean, it says multiple IP infringements, specifically patents, which again makes me think of, you know, just various mechanics. It could be, you know, the ball shaking.
It could be the art of throwing the ball while there's multiple things in front of you.
Yeah.
It could be the RNG of the ball shaking. It could be the way the ball hits the thing and then flies up and then shakes.
It could be like in the menu, like when you're looking between your party members. It could have something to do with how they're displayed. It could have to do with the breeding, right? Breeding down traits. It's also an issue of a big AAA developer versus an indie developer.
Yeah, it's kind of crappy,
Yeah.
but that's life.
And to my understanding, it might not be a case of trying to win a lawsuit, but to try and just prolong it until the indie company is out of money.
Or intimidation. Be like, hey, y'all need to change this, or we're really gonna crack down, you know?
And it's really bad because it sets a precedent for companies to enforce these patents, you know, more heavily in the future and really kind of limit the future of gaming.
I mean, Nintendo has always been like really, really headstrong on like securing their patents and their branding, you know?
Right, right.
Something even smells the same, they're like, hey.
And you know, we're not lawyers or anything. We're just two dudes speculating.
Dude, I'd be the most broke lawyer. And that's another thing. Nintendo could lose the case.
I mean, yeah, it really depends on how broad their patent terms are and what all they can squeeze out of that, you know? Well, what else can we think of outside of throwing spheres, the breeding mechanics? I guess Luckies being like shinies, right? Not exactly, of course, but, you know, in concept. Maybe Alpha Pals being a larger version of the original. Isn't that something that came in Pokemon Sun and Moon?
That has to be something very specific between Pokemon and Palworld.
Right.
And the sphere is the only thing I can think of.
Right, the sphere. I mean, again, I think the storage box, you know, has some leverage, but it's like, you know, like what else are you gonna do?
Well, the storage box also acts as your base. You know, you don't really have a base in Pokemon games.
Yeah, I guess I don't assume that Pokemon would have, you know, a patent that's like, yeah, your storage box is also your base. So I could see that being a cop-out for Pocket Pair, you know, if they went after that specifically. I mean, I agree, you know, I mean, if it's just the sphere, they could just change the sphere to a different object, you know?
Yeah, but they would also lose that case, which would be very detrimental to a new game.
I'm really just trying to speculate, you know, specifically mechanics that, you know, Nintendo might be well within their right to go after. And, you know, you said the sphere, you know, I said maybe the PAL box.
Maybe breeding?
Yeah, maybe breeding. Those are some of the only major things I can think of on the surface level.
Gym leaders, but that wasn't, it's like very loose.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say the tower bosses are far enough from gym leaders for me to be like, I mean, it's not like if you're level 1 and you still manage to like throw like the ultimate sphere, you know, at Jetragon and somehow get it, right? Like it's not gonna disobey you. You know, like the way you know, a level 80 Pokemon from the wild might disobey you if you don't have enough gym badges, right? Yeah, I can't think of any other mechanics outside of just traversing an open world to collect creatures using spheres.
The way I could see it going is Nintendo files a lawsuit. Palworld challenges the lawsuit, you know, a copyright infringement or whatever. They either lose it or it gets thrown out, which Nintendo can always file another lawsuit for the exact same thing and take it back to court if they wanted to.
Right.
Nintendo could always be like, all right, we've had our lawsuit, change your shit. And even if they win or lose, you know, Pocket Pair or Palworld can be like, all right, we're going to change this so we don't have a problem in the future.
Yeah, I think that's the best. If there's a way to like break even, you know, like you said, like have it thrown out. I think in between, you know, if it happens like so often, right, that, you know, that it's kind of out of their hands, I think in between cases, yeah, they should just change whatever mechanic, you know, Nintendo is going after, right? But I mean, what if it's a mechanic that's like core to the game though? You know, like what if it's game changing? If, you know, if they're just, you know, like what is it? You know, like that's the question. That is the question. Like what, let us know down below what you think is going on here.
Yeah, for sure, because this is all speculation. Nintendo hasn't released anything on it.
I'm not fishing through all of Pokemon's and Nintendo's patents to interpret the legal jargon to the extent that would give, you know, me an interpretation of Pokemon's ideas here, you know?
Yeah, one of Palworld's statements is, at this time we are unaware of the specific patents we are accused of infringing upon, and we have not been notified of such details.
Right. Like they don't even know what they're being sued for right now.
Nintendo's just like, hey, you're copying our thing. And they're like, what thing? And Nintendo's like, you know what thing.
I mean, isn't there a letter for stuff like, like aren't they supposed to be like, you've been served?
Something like that, yeah.
If Pocket Pair doesn't know, then what the, I don't know, man. That's crazy. Yesterday, a lawsuit was filed against our company. So yeah, they got notified in some way.
Yeah, for patent infringement. It says, we have received the notice of the lawsuit and will begin appropriate legal proceedings and investigations into the claims of patent infringement. Trying to say patent and infringement at the same time. I got
Infringing. If you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, remember to subscribe. Let us know below what you think Nintendo is trying to sue Palworld for. And y'all have a damn good one.
Bye.